free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine!
My name's Joanna McAllister. I'm a graduate student worker at Cornell University, and I'm here at Labor Notes to learn about all of the great work that's being done both here in the U.S. and abroad with regards to labor and the fights that we're facing.
So you spoke at a panel today, and what were some of the issues that you raised?
Yeah, so one of the issues that I raised as a grad worker at Cornell, one of the things that we're encountering is this campus-wide crackdown and a lot of repression with regards to political speech and academic freedom. So we've seen that a lot of our grad workers have been called into disciplinary meetings.
For speaking out?
For their political speech, yes.
Isn't that illegal? Don't you have a right for political speech?
Yeah, we do, and ironically at Cornell, they are like most universities, saying they support freedom of expression. At Cornell, this academic year is the theme year is freedom of expression, and yet we're seeing these really draconian policies being introduced, such as this interim expressive activity policy that restricts our right to gather on campus and even use megaphones. So some really, really troubling things happen. And with regards to some of the things happening in the classroom, we have TAs where certain political topics, especially surrounding Palestine, do come up and are part of their academics, but they are being either explicitly or implicitly encouraged not to talk about those things because of the controversy surrounding the issue. Yeah.
So is the union, UE, do anything about it? Are there any resolutions or statements by the union?
Yes. So our graduate workers, our union feels very strongly that that academic freedom is essential for us to be able to do our work as graduate workers at Cornell, and so that is something that we are fighting for. We want all workers to feel safe and empowered to do their work and their research on campus, and so we want to make sure that they have the protections to be able to do that.
Yeah. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Sure, yeah, my name's Mark. I'm from South Florida, a city called West Palm Beach. I'm here talking to people about the organizing drive going on in northern Kentucky at the Amazon facility called KCVG. I think it's probably one of the more important organizing drives happening in the country right now. It's their most strategic facility, so I feel like if they can be successful there, it'll have a cascading effect throughout the rest of not only Amazon but the logistics industry. So, that's why I'm at Labor Notes. Check out this rally in support of Palestine right now. Just showed up, so.
And there's an organizing movement in the South going on.
Yes.
Many plants. How would that change the South if these plants all became organized?
Especially the organizing drive in Chattanooga, I think that'll add real momentum to the drive throughout the South. And if they're successful more broadly, I really hope that'll initiate a wider movement of workers in the South, breaking through the fear of these BS laws that put people in. It prevents them from even getting started. But I think if the momentum behind the labor movement, the resurgence in the labor movement was to come to the South, we could really be successful. There's a lot of opportunity in the South, but right now we're just missing the momentum. So this could be like the first step in the right direction. So yeah, 100% support with the UAWs for sure.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
My name is Teresa Monano. I'm a professor of Chicana and Chicano Studies at Cal State Northridge, and I also work with a group called Liberated Ethnic Studies Consortium. So as a faculty member, I happen to work with many, many teachers and faculty members who are currently being silenced right now. They're receiving public requests for information. They're being told they can't use language like genocide, and in K-12 they're being told they can't teach about Palestine. They're being reprimanded and suspended for teaching about Palestine.
Isn't that improper? I mean, academic freedom? And they talk about genocide of Jews, other genocides.
It's absolutely improper. It's not only improper. As a teacher and as an educator, it is your responsibility to teach students about the truth. It is to open them up, their eyes up to things that they don't know about. They see what is going on in the media. They see the silencing in the media. Many of our students are Palestinian, Muslim, Arab. You cannot erase the entire thing from a curriculum. And this is what they're asking us to do. Just erase it. Don't talk about it. Don't acknowledge the suffering going on in Palestine. We're not going to do that. We're going to talk the truth. And, you know, they can PRA us to death. We had a lobby day just last week, 2 days ago in Sacramento, where we brought in ethnic studies educators to talk about what was going on in school. And we were met in Sacramento with a letter from the Jewish Legislative Congress spewing mistruths, information. It was inflammatory, it was disgusting. They thought they would stop us, they did not. We got more and more support for the work that we're doing.
Well, I mean, this whole attack, the wokeism, they don't want people to know the history. There's been an attack on ethnic studies programs to exclude the history of Palestinians. I mean, is this part and parcel of what's going on?
This is exactly what's going on. Ethnic studies teachers are, the good news is that the group that I work with, ethnic studies teachers are calling. They're knocking on your door. They're sending me emails. They're saying, give me information because I cannot find it in my curriculum. Give me lesson plans so that I can teach my students about what's going on in the world, and especially what's going on in Palestine. There's more and more interest in this work. Our teachers dare to rise up to teach what they should be doing, and the minute they do, they get met with, you're making students feel uncomfortable. You're not supposed to be using these words. Genocide. So you're telling me you can apply the word genocide to certain people, but you cannot apply it to the current context of what's going on in Palestine. Many K-12 unions have risen to take a stand on the ceasefire. My union, the California Faculty Association, just passed one of the strongest resolutions, not just calling for ceasefire, but also calling for into U.S. aid to Israel, and much stronger language, more focused on the liberation of the Palestinian people than just a ceasefire. That was a hard-fought game. There were obstacles, there were roadblocks, there were censorships, there were things that were put in. Some chapters wouldn't even listen to the members. 16 chapters out of 23 in the CSU have passed resolutions supporting that.
My name is Chantel. I'm a UPS part-timer in North New Jersey. I'm a member of Teamsters Mobilize, in Teamsters Mobilize we've been pushing resolutions on Palestine in our different locals. I'm also a member of Maoist Communist Union, so I'm also here as a communist. There's a great importance to the working class movement taking, stands of it.
And what does Palestine have to do with labor? Because there are people in the Teamsters like Sean O'Brien who would argue, the union shouldn't say anything about Palestine.
No, it's absurd. Recently, Sean O'Brien said, it's sad what's happening over there, but I'm concerned about the war against corporate America and against the politicians who don't support us, which is such bullshit because he doesn't do either of those things. But of course, it's very important for labor to take a stand, especially because the fight, against Zionism, the struggle for Palestinian liberation, means a struggle against U.S. imperialism because, the U.S. ruling class is the biggest backer of Israel. So it's a fight against our own enemies, here, the U.S. ruling class.
Well, the AFL-CIO supports Israel. They support the Histadrut, the Israeli Trade Union Federation. who do they really represent?
Well, yeah, the capitalist class. I mean, the AFL-CIO, the leadership of the Teamsters, like, across the labor movement, we have these misleaders who do not represent the interests of the workers. Not even like the most immediate economic interests.
Well, there have been a lot of layoffs at UPS.
Yes.
Thousands of workers have got laid off.
Yes.
Is that part of what's going on? I mean, this whole struggle of workers. I mean, you're talking
Absolutely, yeah. And in UPS Teamsters, we've been totally left out to dry by our union leadership. They won't even talk about the fact that they agreed to a contract which opened the door for automation. They opened the door for UPS to do all this, and they said we ended the threat of automation. This is a historic victory. It's a total lie. I think it's especially important to expose that to people, you know, kind of progressive people in the labor movement who think Sean O'Brien is some militant, who think that TDU is really fighting for reforms, but, you know.
well, they've been completely silent about the whole visit of Trump to
they've
Mar-a-Lago.
been silent on every single thing, actually, that the O'Brien's administration has done since they got in office. Now that TDU is in alliance with them and in power, you know, Ken Pack just released an article saying that, you know, everything that TDU is doing is great. And it's correct to not talk about Palestine. They don't want to make TDU into a political vehicle for a narrow, perfect program, as if talking about this genocide that's being carried out with the backing of the U.S. capitalist class is a narrow, perfect program. It's something we can't talk about. You know, how can we get to the point of having a socialist revolution if we can't even talk about the issue of Palestine?
My name is Sean. I'm with UVMMC Support Staff United, and
Where is that at? What is
that's over in Vermont. And we're a group of people that anyone who's not a doctor or nurse over at UVM. But I'm out here because this is a global issue. It touches on everyone, and it's not something that we can just sit idly by and hope is going to turn around for the better.
And how is this Palestine issue connected to labor and workers in this country?
Well, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the whole world is interconnected in so many different ways, and there's so many different industries that all touch on this issue, and it doesn't necessarily just have to be the manufacturing or the trade unions. We always have connections through healthcare, through education, through media, and it's on all of us to make sure that this issue is being heard and being seen and being felt by everyone, not just by the people that are living it each and every day.
And it seems like this weekend there may be voting for $95 billion to Ukraine and Israel and Taiwan. It seems like they have unlimited funding for these wars.
It does, and it seems like we're always able to find money to end lives. We're not able to find the money to help save them or help start them or restart them, give someone a new chance. And I feel like it's an issue that we've been facing in the United States for a very long time here, and I'm not sure where the resolution is going to come from, but it has to start somewhere, and I think that it starts with people like us out here trying to make our voices heard and trying to make a difference.
And has your union taken a position?
Oh, we have, yes. We're definitely in support of Palestine, and we want not just a temporary ceasefire. That's not enough. It's a start, but right now we definitely want a permanent ceasefire.
Well, we're here with the Labor for Palestine organization with our demand for ceasefire and stop the genocide, and we're in front of the conference hotel with a large number of people that spilled into the street, and the police said that they detained or arrested 2 people because they were obstructing the road and refused to leave. But clearly we are in the road, and there's over 100 people in this road, and I don't know how they could blame 2 individuals for that and arrest them, but I don't know, they're trying to make a show of force, or if there was something else to the incident, I don't have any more.
Well, there are some people who say that people should be thrown off the bridge for blocking the Golden Gate Bridge. The right-wingers are really attacking people, saying they don't have democratic rights. I mean, we're hearing at the conference, people being retaliated against for speaking out. They're clearing the students at Columbia. You think that they're going to try to shut down what's going on in this country, the protest, anger against the genocide?
Well, yeah, I mean, not just the anger against the genocide, but the attack on democracy in general, which will, ultimately apply to picket lines or any kind of public demonstrations. The threat to democracy is very real. People should not underestimate it. But as far as threats from right-wingers, that cuts two ways.
And the working class has the power to shut down war. ILW has blocked cargo from Zims. What can the labor movement do? Because it seems that more and more workers are angry about what's going on.
Well, first we need to choose principled leaders and get ourselves organized, because our enemies are better organized than we are. The leaders of our official labor movement are they're compromised. They're hand in glove with the Democratic Party on a good day, and they cannot be trusted to lead our movement against our enemies.
And they're still tied to the Histadrut, the Israeli Trade Union Federation, which is a racist trade union federation. Why is the AFL-CIO continuing to support a federation in Israel that discriminates against Palestinians?
All I could say is that they take their marching orders from the State Department.
So you think the AFL-CIO should break relations? Or you think that the AFL-CIO should be replaced?
Well, the AFL-CIO should fulfill its mission to represent the working class against the capitalists, and the State Department is not going to be part of that.
I'm Julian de Gortari. I'm an active member of UAW 4811 at UCLA.
And you came here to this conference. What are you doing in the UAW? The UAW, you've been fighting for the UAW to take a position against the genocide for Palestine. That's been a whole struggle. Maybe you can talk about that.
Yeah, exactly. No. Well, first of all, the struggle has been, first of all, for democracy. But now with this genocide in Palestine, obviously, this has been incorporated in one of the main objectives of whatever unionism we make. No, we cannot ignore whatever is happening in Palestine, no? Because it's part of all this system that produces injustices, and now it's being reflected in this genocide that is being produced in Palestine. No?
And you had a strike, and then the university attacked your contract. So it seems like the university is intent on attacking the union, regardless of the...
No, not only the union, because we are workers organizing, but also because we support Palestine. They are really Zionists. The UCLA, all the UC system, are in bed with Zionism. They cannot really hide that.
And the regents of the University of California, they get money invested in Israel. I mean, they're actually supporting Israel as a Zionist state.
Yeah, definitely. Even in UCLA, there's this Israeli Studies Center, which obviously just tries to brainwash people into accepting Zionism. But obviously the regents are receiving money from Israel. Our funding comes from the military for research. So obviously we are, unfortunately, also supporting this war machine for genocide in Palestine, not as researchers.
And you're also running a slate in the union. Why don't you talk about your issues that you're running on?
Yeah. Well, basically, we are running for democracy, because that's one of the fundamental things every union should be based on. Because only by opening the discussions about opening where should the union be fighting for example, the Palestinian issue that has been neglected by the leadership, those issues, by opening conversation, by opening democracy, those issues would clearly be taken by the membership, no? And we will be actually fighting for it instead of the leadership keeping stalling the issue, no? Because that's what they have been doing.
And the United States is also sending money to Mexico, to $300 million to supposedly mold the Mexican unions. There's a lot of American investment, capitalist investment. What do they want to do in Mexico?
Well, I guess they would like to have control over the workers' movement, no? That's at the end what's happening, no? Right now it seems to have been positive for the people, but we don't know at longer term what's going to happen, no? Again, it's just in a short term it has been positive, but obviously we cannot really trust whatever the US imperialist system does, no? And with that, the control it now has over our labor laws, no? And our the way labor laws are carried out in Mexico, no? So we have to be very careful about what's happening right now with the US meddling in labor law in Mexico, no?
And you think people are waking up in this country? I mean, there's been demonstrations, people are not being silent. I mean, people are saying they want to end this genocide, and they're mobilizing.
No, definitely. I have been here for 2019. Although I didn't live here during the BLM, this is clearly a very special period, because in all my years living here, I have not seen really any movement as large as this one, as energetic. No, and I think there's still, it's really making people move, protest, no, go to the streets, and it's really showing the contradictions of the system, no, of how the U.S. funds all this, how the U.S. extracts money from the people through taxes and uses it for the war machine instead of really helping the people, no? What's yeah, well, I don't know what's the matter with that, no?
Are you optimistic?
I'm kind of optimistic because, again, I have previously I didn't see any type of activity such as this one, so I have been positive, really, and I hope this movement does achieve its goal of, first of all, achieving a ceasefire in Palestine, which is the minimum we can get, but more than that, no, really forcing the U.S. to stop helping genocidal countries such as the State of Israel.
People are facing retaliation.
More than people, for example, the student government bodies are facing retaliation because they support a free Palestine, no? So the regions are trying to cut down on that, even the autonomy of the student bodies, no? Just because they are supporting those kind of issues, no? So they're even trying to strike on the autonomy, even such bodies that are so weak as the student government right now has, no?
So why are you out here today?
Because there's no liberation without everyone's liberation.
So you feel that Palestine cause is the cause of all people?
Yeah, absolutely. And it intersects in a way that even I've learned about through this weekend's conference. Our pensions are invested in different places. Many of our pensions are invested in Israel. If you don't have an investment in Israel through your pension, then you might work in transportation that transports